Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. How are you today? I hope you're all in a good condition. First of all, let us introduce our team. First, there's me, Miftah Ul Janna.
Hello, my name is Indira Pratiwi.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Naufal Razan Zhafran.
My name is Melinda Ariyanti.
My name is Baiq Balqis Zahara.
So, we are going to present a topic about preposition. Without further ado, let's get into it. We start with the definition. What is preposition? A preposition is a word or a group of words used to show a relation to another word or element in the clause and usually preceding a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase. Let's take a look at words like on, from, by, and for. They are usually short words, but there are a few longer ones such as alongside, regarding, and throughout. There are also multi-word prepositions like because of, except for, and due to. In English, we often see things as concepts and do not examine them literally. That means we can use many prepositions in academic writing. For example, we can talk about an essay on chocolate. Perhaps we think of the essay as sitting on a chocolate, just like this. But is it correct? No. We use the preposition on because it's the passive for something, not as a preposition on a surface. Now let's move on to the next discussion.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Naufal Razan Zhafran, and I'm here to continue the explanation. Well, in the previous explanation, Tatra already explained us about what is preposition. Now I'm gonna tell you guys a type of preposition. The very first is a preposition of time. The preposition of time are prepositions that used to indicate time, and that time is show us a combination of the preposition with the noun that follows it. Next is the preposition of place and direction. Now these prepositions are used to indicate some place or a position of a things. Now the next is preposition of agents or things. Now this preposition is indicate a causal relationship between nouns and other part of the sentence. I'm gonna give you guys a short explanation. Maybe you're a little bit confused about the type of this preposition because there are some words that is same. I mean like on, at, and in are in the both preposition in the time preposition and preposition of place and direction. Now don't be confused of this thing because this word can make a different meaning when it comes in preposition, but what we are going to explain are based on the material. By I mean is the example of an assignment that given by our lecture in the PDF file. So don't be confused, just listen carefully.
Okay, let's move on to part 3. Preposition about, for, to, in, into, and of. About used to show on the subject of or connection with something. For example, many students still confused about the photosynthetic process. For used to indicate purpose. For example, the source given are not appropriate for the research. To used to indicate direction. For example, according to Mr. John, there is an effective approach to discourse analysis. In used to show that something is completely or partly enclosed by anything else. For example, there are some errors in your writing. Into, used to expressing movement or action with the result that someone or something becomes enclosed or surrounded by something else. For example, they had an investigation into the determinant of customer satisfaction. Of, used to refer a belonging to something or someone or what is contained in something. For example, the awareness of plastic waste has been frequently informed to the society.
Okay, for the next one, I'm going to explain about preposition at, on, onto, from, between, among, and with. Okay, for the first one is at. At used to show location or a specific place. Also can be used to show a specific time. For example, this paper is currently at the press. The word at the press describes the specific location where the paper is currently. At also can be used to show a specific time. For example, the vocabulary class starts at 7:30 a.m. The word at 7:30 a.m. describes the specific time of when the vocabulary class starts. And the second one is on. On is used as the basis for something. If the word on is translated into Indonesian, it becomes the word pada. For example, previous work has only focused on theoretical issues. The words on theoretical issues describe what is previous work has focused. And the third one is onto. Onto used to explain direction or movement to a position on a surface or place. Or on another word, onto indicates putting or moving something on top of or to a position on. For example, student can collect assignment onto the teacher table. So, in this case, the assignment is on top of teacher table. And the fourth one is from. From used to indicate what the origin of somebody or something is and can be used to show place or time. For example, this process starts from the first day of germination. The words from the first day of germination explain the origin of the process. And the fifth is between. Between used to show the space separating two objects or people. For example, we focus on the communication between the user and the application. The words between the user and the application explain that there is a space that separating the user and the application. And the sixth is among. Among is used when something surrounded by somebody or something else that don't have specific number. For example, he found exam paper among his books. So from this example, we know that his exam paper was surrounded by lots of books. And the last is with. With is used when say that people or a thing are doing something together or in a place together. Or on another word, with also means having something or using something. For example, let us begin with a short overview of the literature, which will also give us some insight into the main issues. So, in this case, the sentence "let us begin with a short overview" means they begin something using a short overview of the literature.
Next, we are going to discuss about preposition by, within, over, under, than, since, and until. The first is preposition by. It is usually used to show who or what does, creates, or causes something. For example, The sample was provided by Professor Kim. Preposition within. Used during a particular period of time, not further than particular distance from something. For example, the essay must be submitted within a week. Preposition over. Used when showing a control or authority. For example, there are some advantages of using media A over media B. Preposition since. Used to determine when something happened. For example, they have been running the business since 2006. Preposition then. Used to introduce the second part of the comparison. For example, everyone agrees that source X is more credible than source Y. Preposition under. Used to say who or what controls, governs, or manages somebody or something. For example, Mr. Lee has a staff of 19 working under him for discrete research. The last is preposition until. Used to describe a continuous action that stops at specific time or describes the duration of an action before specific time. For example, class B has to be in the laboratory until they finish the overtation.
Well, we are at the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. And we have a friendly reminder. It's always impossible until it's done. Goodbye and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.